Hello, everyone. Welcome to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at the Mark of Athena, chapter 27, continuing Piper's perspective. Now, it starts off with Piper and Jason just looking for this river where they're supposed to find Eklios, I think. And it is hot and humid, and there are mosquitoes everywhere. And that guide that Hercules gave them doesn't give them any help on hiding or defeating these mosquitoes or hot weather. It doesn't really tell them too much. It does have some history and some interesting facts, but it's not very helpful. Not telling them where Aklios is, how to defeat him, or what even happened going on. And so the book's not a lot of help, but Jason is trying to look through it, and he's finding some interesting things. As they're walking, Piper keeps thinking about these kind of negative things. What did they mean when they said they feel sorry for me because I'm dating a son of Zeus? Are our friends gonna be okay? Oh, we don't have much time. Are we gonna be able to find Nico D'Angelo? And she keeps worrying and thinking about all this stuff, and she's just going through all these bad ideas over and over in her mind. And she's trying to shake it, but she just keeps thinking about bad things. Finally, Jason says, "Shh, stop." And they hear the sound of a river. Oh, okay. I think this is where we need to go. And so they go slowly towards this river. And the river sounds so wonderful as the water is going over the rocks. And it just sounds so peaceful and cozy. And suddenly it just feels so good to get in that nice, cool water to go for a swim with Jason. Oh, in the river. And Jason's thinking the same thing. He goes over to the edge and he starts taking off his shoes. He's going to go in the swim hole and they're just going to have fun. But then Piper gets this. This feels like charm speak. Stop it, she yells. And Jason's like, what? Not you, the river. And the river, as it's bubbling and the sound, we call it like a burbling brook? I'm not too sure, actually, now that I have to think about it. But it's just making those river kind of sounds of those peaceful water going over rocks. And yes, the river was trying to charm speak Jason and Piper. And so Aklios comes out of the river and he looks so sad. And Piper is kind of like, whoa, why does this guy look so sad? What's going on here? And she just kind of starts talking to him. And he doesn't try to kill them immediately. He really just starts saying, "Hi guys, sorry that I was trying to charm speak you. It was just a little fun. But I'm sorry, that's all I can do these days." And he's just really pouty. And Piper starts to kind of open up her guard. She starts to relax and feel more comfortable around this sad, poor god of the river. And then Aklios kind of turns it onto Piper. And he says, "Oh, Piper, you're such a poor thing. Dating a son of Zeus." And Jason says, "Of Jupiter. I'm not a son of Zeus. I'm a son of Jupiter." He says, "Oh, you know how those sons of Jupiter are. They're just like their father." Piper's like, what do you mean, just like their father?" "Oh, they're always running around dating other women, even though they're married." And Piper's like, "Oh," and that's what happened with Hercules and his other wife, which we get into the story of, and I don't know how to pronounce this right, but let's see, Deanari. something like that. Dejanari. And he starts talking about Hercules' story, about his first wife and how Hera made him crazy, and so then he killed his family. And then he went to his second wife, but he was always running around the world, maybe with other women, and his second wife got really jealous and accidentally killed him. Oh, man. She took Centaur's blood and put it inside his shirt. And so then when Hercules came home and put on the shirt, the Centaur blood was like acid and poison and killed him. And so he kind of shares that story about how Hercules' wives died so tragically because they were dating a son of Zeus. Well, as Achelous is sharing the story, and Piper's feeling really sad, and she's hearing Achelous' story, and Achelous is like, it's so sad, I could have married her, and I would have made her very happy, but she ran off with Hercules, and it was such a terrible story. And Piper's like, yeah, you are so sad, that was such a terrible story, I'm so sorry for you. But then Jason is like, well, hey, I'm really sorry, this is really unfortunate, but we have no choice, man. We got to take your other horn. But look on the bright side. It might make your head more even. During the conversation, Achelous kind of goes, ging, because his horn is on one side, and he kind of just tilts his head over. And Jason says, maybe it'll make your head even, so you won't have to go back and forth. And if we have no choice, we got to take that horn. And Achelous says, hey, I don't really have a choice either. And boom, water shoots out of the river towards Piper. And that's how the chapter ends. Vocabulary. Brainiac is someone who uses their brain a lot, who has like a super big brain. We call that person a brainiac. Someone who loves to study. And Jason becomes a brainiac, hanging out with Hannibeth, and now reading this Hercules guide. He's not really a brainiac, but that's what Piper feels. Tendencies. Brainiac tendencies is actually what she says. Tendencies is an inclination towards something, normally choosing to do something. For example, if we went out to dinner, okay, and you had a choice, right? We went to McDonald's or something like that, and you get a cheeseburger or like a chicken burger or something. You have a natural pull towards one of these. You know, maybe usually you eat the cheeseburger. You have a natural tendency to pick the cheeseburger. But sometimes you pick that chicken burger, right? It's not guaranteed. It's just a way that you usually go, a tendency. And so suddenly Jason is having these brainiac tendencies where he's going into the intellectual part of information. Perspiration is when your body gets wet from your own water. So underneath your armpit, or for me, on my head, weep, 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 weep. Or on your neck, your chest, your body starts to cool off. We call this perspiration. Shudder, is that kind of quick movement of your body when you're cold or when you're afraid. Bovine is like cattle, so like a cow, relating to a cow. And Achelous is like a bull, but with the face of a human. I think it's kind of a really interesting description. Bovine, so he has these cow features. Pout. We've had this one before. Stick your lip out. This is pouting. Okay, and that's what Achelous looks like in his whole story. He's just kind of, I'm so sad. Oh, poor girl. Right, he's pouting the whole time. Intervened means stepped in between two things to create peace, right? Or balance. And so I think it was Achelous and Jason and Piper intervened. I can't remember if it's the other way around, but someone came in to stop the argument or to help balance the argument or fight. and going in and taking action. Temper tantrum is when you, like a child, when you get angry and you just go crazy, right? You all seen like the little videos or whatever of like a baby taking a bite of something that they don't like, and then they take their food and they go, "Ah!" and they start throwing their food everywhere. Or maybe in the store, a young kid just letting go of their mom's hand and then just jumping down on the floor and waving all around, crying and screaming all over the floor. That's a temper tantrum. Tantrum is like when you lose control to express some sadness or anger or something. Newfangled, it just means new. Fangled means confusing. So new, confusing technology. When Jason takes out the book, Achilles is like, "That's not a book!" And he takes out a scroll and unrolls the scroll, and he's like, "This is a book." Newfangled technology, these books. Penance, I think we had this one last time, but penance is like your punishment in order to get right. So if you're a thief and you steal something, you get caught and you go to jail, and you have some penance, some time you have to serve in jail to pay for your crime and to learn how to not do that crime anymore. Hercules killed his family, so because Hercules killed them, even though it was Hera's fault, Hercules had to do some penance, some actions to get forgiveness. Gallivanted. Oh my goodness. There we go. I'm like, what is that word? Gallivanted. Gallivanted is like travel around carelessly. And so Zeus gallivants around the world, meeting new women and having babies, right? Children of Zeus also gallivant around the world, dating and finding new women, or maybe even boys. They just talked about like the sons of Zeus, but maybe even the daughters of Zeus do that too. I don't know, but certainly the boys do, where they travel around and meet a bunch of different girls. Gallivanted. And that leads me to a discussion question. Listening to Achilles' story, I mean, he especially told a story about how, I can't remember her name, Dejanira, how she was supposed to marry him, but then Hercules came and was like, "Hey, how about you marry me?" She said, "Ah, okay," and she left, and then she killed herself and Hercules. So Achilles tells a sad story about his life, and Piper feels really sad for Achilles. Well, how about you? Do you feel sad for this river god, or kind of like Jason, you're just like, I'm sorry, man, sad story, but we don't have a choice. How do you feel about this guy? Of course, please make your own discussion question. That is all the time that we have for today, but thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.